Hello, everybody. I wanted to do a new series regarding Fortnite that I feel like would be interesting, especially from a personal perspective. First of all, Happy New Year. It is the first of the year for 2025, and I kind of wanted to do a little uh, mini series on like the importance of the skins that I have and why I have them. Anytime I have a skin, there's got to be a story behind it. I mean, obviously subtract the battle pass skins because those just come with what you buy. But the ones that I have bought for collabs or overall, the ones that I have for why I have them, like my OG skin is today, for example. I got it, and I'll explain how I got it. I mean, it's not an OG skin. It's a season 2 skin, which I'm going to explain here in a minute. But in regards to like this series altogether, it's really just going to be short little videos of why each skin is important for what it is. So we're going to start with my first skin that I ever got. Not this one. We'll go into here. Blue Team Leader. Now, what's interesting about this skin, and this is what this video is going to be about, is when Fortnite first came out on console, because again, PlayStation 5, this is what I have a PlayStation 5. When I first played Fortnite, excuse me, when I first played Fortnite in 2017, September 2017, I made my profile, which is why my profile is so simple, Simo_buckets, because that's what my PlayStation username is. And when the game first came out, I won't lie to you, I was not interested. I mostly played because I was in a media group, and some of the guys that I was in a media group with for my NBA stuff, they were like, "Chris, you should play some Fortnite." I'm like, "What the heck is Fortnite?" You know, I'm like, what are we talking about here? What overall is the good of a Fortnite, and what does that mean, and whatever. And people have to understand, we're currently in 2025. This is September of 2017. Really a whole different world. Now, especially now that we're halfway through this decade, it really was a whole different world in 2017 for the kids, for the anybody who's not old enough or who is old enough but can't remember that time frame, or for adults who clearly remember that time frame and know the difference of the way the world was back then. And when the game first came out, it was like you get your generic default skin. I think from what I'm remembering, and I'm probably remembering wrong, you either picked a male or a female. I remember picking a female, and I'm not saying this is how I got this skin, but I remember when I first played, I downloaded the game on my PlayStation 4. Back then, games took forever to download, so Fortnite was way more simpler than it is today. And I downloaded the game. And when I downloaded the game, I played maybe like a night. Like I played like a couple of rounds for one night for like 2 hours, and I was like, "Yeah, guys, this isn't for me," because like the game was so bland. Obviously, OG just came back this past month, but it was so bland and so basic. And you got to remember the timeline, the framing of culture at that time. NBA 2K was in its prime. You got to remember, from 2010, really, or 2009, 2010, you can make the debate around that time frame. From then until about 2017, when September 2017, when the 2Ks were coming out regularly, that was a big time for games to come out. So for me to dive into any kind of other game, which was a brand new game like this in Fortnite, had no major bling to it, had nothing. It was like you jump in and you play, and you just build stuff, and you try to eliminate people in a battle royale format. That was all it was. And obviously they had Save the World, but I wasn't involved in the console version yet. They were just getting it figured out. This was before they ever had seasons, before they even knew what a battle pass was. There was nothing. It was like you jump on and it was play. That was it for the PlayStation version. So much simpler compared to the way it is today. And I played once and I was like, nah, not for me. Well, back then, because we're explaining the skins, this is a skin series. Back then, if you had the game on your console, which again, I never really played it after that. I played it one more time It was sometime in the early 2018s. I want to say it was right after the new year in 2018. I then had it. I played it a couple times. Nothing crazy, nothing outlandish. And I re-upped my PlayStation Plus subscription, or my PlayStation Network subscription, whatever the subscription is, where you can play online against people in different games. Fortnite's different. You can play against people for free, which is, I love that. I'm happy about that. I'm grateful for that, because that's why I play Fortnite mostly these days, is because of the availability to play at your own pace without having to pay. Obviously, you can do pay stuff, but whatever. But I got this skin for free because I paid for my PlayStation subscription, which I believe at the time was like 10, 12 bucks, whatever, for either a 3 month, a year, whatever. I think I paid for the year. And I played enough to obviously make that understandable, right? Like, I was like, I'd play Call of Duty, and that's what I'm getting back to. The culture and the time frame. NBA 2K was at its peak. Call of Duty still had some skin in the game. I mean, they're starting to come back down, but you got to remember, this was around the time when they had World War II. I think Black Ops was making a comeback. All those other games, there was a lot going on within the culture. And around this time as well, I got in a major car accident. January of 2018, I got in a major car accident. I re-upped my PlayStation Plus because I don't think I'd re-upped it before that for a while because I wasn't playing as much. But I re-upped it, and they offered this skin, and I got this skin. And I remember when I first jumped back into the game for a little bit because I had nothing to do, because I was on my bed rest trying to get healthy from my car accident. I played Fortnite a couple of times just to see, and again, it was not for me. They were just starting seasons. As you can see, Season 2 was this skin. And this was when they were just starting this. They just started battle passes. They just started storylines. They just started all these things. And I was not interested because, again, there was so much else to do. Again, 2K, I was totally involved in it. I still played a little bit of Madden. I still played, I think Red Dead Redemption was just about to come out. I played GTA at times a lot during this time. GTA 5, when it was still at its peak. Still is a great game, but it was way better back then. And then you had, PUBG, which was a choice. Call of Duty was still going on, which is what I would play regularly. I was playing a lot of other stuff when it came to my entertainment value. This was before I had kids. This was before I had all this. I was watching stuff. I was invested in other things. I was working. I didn't own a home, so I didn't have a whole lot of yard work or like property control or whatever. We were renting. In 2018, we were renting. It was the last year we rented, and last full year we rented. And I got this skin because I basically just re-upped my PlayStation Plus because I had the game on my console, and they offered it to me for free. I didn't play Fortnite a whole lot back then at all, as you can tell. And it's funny when my cousins introduced me back into the game in May of 2024, right before Memorial Day. My cousins, my nephews, I apologize. My nephews, I call them my cousins because one of them is, my oldest nephew is 20. Well, not my oldest. I have two older nephew and niece that are overall, like, one of them is close to our age. He's like 10 years younger. He was born in 2000. The other nephew, he was born in 2004, so he had just turned 20. And they were asking me, like, do you play Fortnite? And I was like, no, because I wasn't interested. I had other things that I was doing, and plus video games weren't really in my forte anymore. And I was like, sure, I can get on some Fortnite. Like, I don't care. And this was all I had. This was the only skin I had. As you can see, I got a whole bunch more now. But this was the only skin I had. And I jumped in, and they were like, whoa, you got an OG skin. Are you sweaty? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, I don't play Fortnite. Like, this isn't what I do. And, I remember the only other time in between when I played in 2018 for, again, a little bit, nothing crazy, nothing outlandish. I played again sometime in early 2020 because when our daughter was born in February of 2020, it was like I had so much downtime because of the state of Washington and the laws that they have in regards to taking time off for having children. So again, I jumped back on. I felt like a lot of sports video games were dropping off. 2K was not great. 2K20 was okay, but it wasn't great. Also, this was in the middle of COVID where there wasn't a whole lot of going on. Right when our daughter was born was right before COVID, so then COVID happened like a month after she was born, and that's when everything shut down. I was trying to find other things to do and keep myself interested and like attached, outside of obviously taking care of our daughter, which was the main priority. But outside of that, it was like anytime I had anything I wanted to do in my spare time, there was nothing to watch on TV because everything was shut down from a sports perspective. All these other things. And so I jumped back into Fortnite. But again, I knew nothing about Fortnite at that time in 2020. I knew nothing like about the intricacies and the storylines. I knew nothing. I just thought of it as the same game that it was when it came out in September of 2017 on the console. And I played it a little bit, and I was like, again, not for me, because, again, I kept seeing ads for it and all this other stuff. And then, like I said, jumped to May of 2024. This was all I had, and my cousins were, my nephews, apologies for the slip-ups, my nephews were freaking out. They're like, oh, man, you have an OG skin or whatever. And I was like, if this is considered OG, I'm happy about that. I mean, it's a pretty sweet skin. I mean, the back bling, obviously. That's my streaming back bling. But it's pretty sweet. I mean, for a 2018 skin, for only the first 5-6 months the game was out, I'm pretty happy to have this. I mean, from what I hear, it's a rare skin. From what I've seen on the Fortnite wiki, it's a hard skin to have because obviously it was only released back when you had a PlayStation and you re-upped your PlayStation subscription and they gave it to you for free. So that was really the only way you could get it. It was obviously a way to get you in the game so that you could have your own permanent skin. So I'm grateful to have it. The story behind it is way more about everything else than it is about the actual like skin. But that's how I got this skin. And to be honest with you, if there's ever a time when someone's like, put your most OG skin on, this is mine. Because I did download the game when it was brand new. I did play it when it was first on the console. And this was it for me. So that's my OG skin. That's my OG skin, and this is the first episode of the OG skin of the skin series. Feel free to watch the rest. I got a bunch of them that I want to talk about.